Hey, John here. Here's lick of the day number 122. This is an open string harmonic minor run. I'm going to show you the lick slowly first and then break it down. And after the breakdown, I'm going to share some practice advice that you can apply to this lick and to pretty much anything else that you're practicing. I'm going to start here on the 15th fret of the high E string. Right, so this one uses the E harmonic minor scale, which basically means that whenever you hit a D note, you sharpen that to D sharp. So the flat 7 goes back up to the natural 7th. So we start here on the 15th fret, and it's going to be an open string pedal here, and that just means that after every third note will be the open E for the beginning of the lick. So it goes like this: 15, 12, open. And we got 14, 11, open, 12, 8, open, 11, 7, open, and then we end up on 8 here with our pinky. And I alternate pick everything, starting with a downstroke. So from this point, we're gonna go down this descending group of 6 until we get to this note. So we got 8, 7, 5 on both the E and the B. And we shift down to the 4th fret, and that's the the D sharp again, so basically the harmonic minor note. And from here we're gonna change into some legato and hybrid picking. So I'm just gonna play that phrase first and then break that down. So basically it's an D sharp diminished arpeggio, and the notes we have here is 7, 4, 5, 7, 4, and we play it in a sort of backwards way. Instead of going, we go. And the way that I pick this is a downstroke. We're coming from here, down, hammer, and then down, M. So this is where hybrid picking really shines, in my opinion, because you can make things way easier. And if things are easier and they still sound good, I think that's the best, because if it's easier, it's going to be more reliable for you to use, because you're not going to have to worry too much about hitting wrong strings or whatever. And also it sort of affects the sound as well, because if you have to pick this, it's fine, you can work on that and learn that for sure, but I think it will always sound a bit less stressful when you use the finger, if you get the technique right. So one thing that's important to note here is that it's easy to overpick this stuff, but it's not chicken picking like that kind of thing. Instead we want to match the dynamic of the hybrid picked finger with, you know, whatever is around it, whether that's legato or picking. So really pull back there. So again, 4, 7, 5, 4, and then we go down to 7, and then we go back to G here, the G string, 5th fret, and basically every time I turn around after, I use the finger instead of the pick. So I go down, M, down, M. So in this case you can see the M fingers sort of taking over from an upstroke instead. So instead of doing down, up, we're actually going down, M, and then the last bit here is going to be, and I pick this, so it's going to be 4, 7, down, up, and then down on the 5th fret of the D string, and then I pull off to the 4, and then end up on the root note here. So all right, some practice advice here. Playing this open string thing can feel a bit weird at first, because it's a very different feeling, especially up here, the further down you get towards the tuning pegs, the easier it's going to be, because it's going to be less of a difference in the feeling of the string, because an open string feels way different than the 15th fret here, for example. There's way more pressure on the string here, so tension on the string. So a good idea here is to basically just start by working on getting this down, and then you can start, do that in each of the positions. And once you get that working, you can combine two of them. So you just go and then combine the next one, but make sure that you start with an upstroke then. So you go up, and do the next one with a down. In the last group, you can work on the transition to the ultimate pick notes here. So that would be, let's see, an upstroke, so up, and then down, up, down here, and then you repeat that. So you actually get to work on both directions here. And then you have this. Making sure you get that separately as well, and then you can work on this thing, obviously. And when it comes to this thing, I do it very slowly and basically do 2 or 3 reps in each position, and then move it up the fretboard. So I would actually start down here and just go. And so on. And be careful, you heard I got a bit of string noise here, so slow it down even more and really get it as clean as possible, and just move it up and down the fretboard. Another thing you can try is to do it with another subdivision. So instead of 16th notes, try it with triplets. So 8th note triplets, so 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... And you'll find that this won't land on the beat anymore, but that's sort of part of the good thing about this, because it displaces everything and it forces your ear to hear different notes on the beat, and then you will hear them better than if you just do it the same way all the time. So give this a try, and if you have any issues or any questions at all, or comments overall, just post them below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.